ورفعنا لك ذكر ورفعنا لك ذكر. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. The Book of Cultivation and Agriculture, Chapter 1. The superiority of sowing seeds and planting trees if some of the product is eaten by people or animals. The statement of Allah Ta'ala, then tell me about the seed that you sow in the ground. Is it you that make it to grow, or are we the grower? Were it we could crumble it to dry peas. Verses 56, 63, 65 narrated. Anas bin Malik Raziallah Ta'ala Anhu, Allah's Messenger Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, there is none amongst the Muslims who plants a tree or sows seeds and then a bird or a person or an animal eats from it, but is regarded as a charitable gift for him. It is permissible for one to say to another, look after my date palm trees or other trees and share the fruits with me. Narrated. Abu Huraira Raziallahu Ta'ala Anhu, the Ansar said to the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, distribute the date palm trees between us and our emigrant brothers. He replied, no. The Ansar said to the emigrants, look after the trees, water and watch them, and share the fruits with us. The emigrant said, we listen and obey. The cutting of trees and date palm trees. Anas said, the Prophet ﷺ ordered that the date palm trees be cut down, and they were cut down. Narrated. Abdullah Raziallahu Ta'ala Anhu, the Prophet ﷺ got the date palm trees of the tribe of Bani An-Nadir burned and the trees cut down at a place called Al-Buwaira. Hassan bin Thabit said in a poetic verse, the chiefs of Bani Lo'ai found it easy to watch fire spreading at Al-Buwaira. Narrated. Rafi bin Khadij, we worked on farms more than anybody else in Al-Madinah. We used to rent the land at the yield of a specific delimited portion of it to be given to the landlord. Sometimes the vegetation of that portion was affected by blights, etc., while the rest remained safe, and vice versa. So the Prophet ﷺ forbade this practice. At that time, gold or silver were not used for renting the land. Chapter 20. Narrated Abu Huraira Raziallahu Ta'ala Anhu, once the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was narrating a story while a Bedouin was sitting with him, saying, one of the inhabitants of paradise will ask Allah to allow him to cultivate the land. Allah will ask him, are you not living in the pleasure you like? He will say, yes, but I like to cultivate the land. The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam added, when the man will be permitted, he will sow the seeds and the plants will grow up and get ready for reaping, and so on till it will be as huge as mountains within a wink. Allah will then say to him, O son of Adam, here you are, take it and gather the yield. Nothing satisfies you. On that the Bedouin said, the man must be either from Quraysh, an emigrants or an Ansari, for they are farmers. Whereas we are not farmers, the Prophet ﷺ smiled at this. What he said about planting trees. Narrated Sahib bin Saad Razi Allah Ta'ala Anu, we used to be very happy on Friday as an old lady used to cut some roots of the silk which we used to plant on the bank of our small water streams and cook them in a pot of hers, adding to them some grains of barley. Jacob, the sub-narrator, said, I think the narrator mentioned that the food did not contain flour or melted fat taken from meat. When we offered the Friday prayer, we would go to her and she would serve us with the dish. So we used to be happy on Fridays because of that. We used not to take our meals or the midday nap except after the Jumal prayer. Narrated Abu Huraira Razi Allah Ta'ala Anhu, the people say that Abu Huraira narrates too many narrations. In fact, Allah knows whether I say the truth or not. They also say, why do the emigrants and the Ansar not narrate as he does? In fact, my emigrant brother were busy trading in the market and my Ansar brethren were busy with their properties. I was a poor man keeping the company of Allah's Messenger ﷺ and satisfied with what filled my stomach, so I used to be present while they, the emigrants and the Ansar, were absent, and I used to remember while they forgot the Hadees. One day the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever spread his sheet till I finish this statement of mine and they gather it over his chest will never forget anything of my statement. So I spread my covering sheet, which was the only garment I had till the Prophet ﷺ finished his statement. Then I gathered it over my chest, but him who had sent him, Allah's Messenger ﷺ, with the truth. Since then I did not forget even a single word of that statement of his till this day of mine. By Allah, but for two verses in Allah's book, I would never have related any narration from the Prophet ﷺ. These two verses are worthy those who conceal the clear proofs, evidence, and the guidance which we have sent down up to the most merciful verses to 159 160. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.